Hi, this is Sonia with Worx Solutions, and I did a fall Dollar Tree challenge with a few of my fellow collaborators, and one is Bevie from ThePaperDiva on YouTube, and then Pham from Livie's Lovelies, and Thelisha from Where Baking and Crafting Meet. And all of us, typically we do like journaling and planning and stuff like that, but we decided to step out of the box and do a little something different for the fall challenge. And so for mine, I did 3 different projects, and all of mine are like household type decor or whatever, but you can use it with other things too. So basically what I did with this owl is I took the Dollar Tree owls and I traced around them, and I created a template, and I have it's available on my blog if you need it. So basically what I did was I gave these owls 2 coats of white gesso, and all I'm doing is just taking some distress oxide inks and just kind of giving them some color, you know, playing around with it, give it some shade and stuff. So I took the blue speckled egg from Tim Holtz, and I know this is a Dollar Tree challenge, but I still wanted to use some of my other stuff that I already had in the household. And so I'm just distressing everything, including going around the entire edges of the owl, getting into the little crevices and stuff like that, because it's going to hang, and so I wanted to make sure that I had it covered, you know. So after I distressed it, I took some glue, and you can use, I used art glitter glue on most of this stuff, but the best type of glue to use is like a glue gun, and I didn't realize that I was almost out of my glue sticks, or yeah, my little glue gun sticks, until after I got started on my projects, and I was like, well, I'm just going to go ahead and finish this project anyway. But yeah, a glue gun works best with a lot of the things that are in these projects. But anyway, I just took some cheesecloth and just took some glue and went around the neck of the owl and laid the owl down on top, and then just tied the cheesecloth on it and then glued it down so it would stay in place. And this just kind of gives it like a little fall kind of, like he has a little, like it could be a he or a she, like it has on like a scarf or whatever. And I just wanted to increase that a little, not increase that, but like I wanted to make it look a little bit more cuter, so I just added some burlap to it, and pretty much the same thing, just tied like a little loop and then glued it down. I had to hold it in place for a little bit to make sure it stayed in place. Like I said, a glue gun would probably be a better choice to use with a lot of this stuff. So, and then there I did 2 of them like that, so I just went ahead and added a little burlap, glued it down, hold it for a moment or 2. And then here I just took the template that I downloaded, cut it out, and basically just traced around it for the eyeballs. And you'll have to do 4 of them because 2 for each owl, obviously. So I did the white eyeball, the black eyeball, and then I just cut them all out, and I distressed them. And also distress the hat, and you'll see it still has like some black around the edges from where it was cut out, but I left it like that because I felt like it kind of helps with the highlights and the shadows, so I just left it on there. So I just cut out my beaks in black, and you don't have to choose those colors. You can have your eyeballs and your beaks and your hats and all that, whatever color you decide. Just take your template, trace around whatever color paper you want, and you could actually use that template in a journal or something, or a scrapbook or whatever, card, whatever. It doesn't have to be used specifically for these, but I did kind of make it for this project. But it has multiple uses, so just have fun with that freebie template. And like I said, it's on my blog on Multimedia Crafts Digital, and I'll have a link in the description where you can find it at. And so yeah, so I cut out my little eyeballs and glued them on, and I just wanted to make them look more realistic, kind of, well, not really realistic, but like, I just wanted it to pop. So I added some glue and I cut out these little pearls or whatever they are, and just added them to each owl. So I thought that made them look a little bit cuter. And you could have left your owls as is, with just the eyeballs and beak, but I wanted to make like a little hanging, and so that's why I decided to add additional stuff on here. So I cut out my little hats, and for this particular project you're going to need some type of picks and maybe some leaves and just different, however you want to decorate your little owls, that's what you can use. But I just grabbed these picks, and you can choose whatever colors you like. I love all different colors of fall. It doesn't have to be just orange and red and whatever. It can be purple too. So. And these little owls can represent Thanksgiving. It could be Halloween, just whatever you want it to represent. But yeah, I like those colors, and that's why I chose those. But you can basically just take leaves and flowers from whatever you already have at home. If you don't want to go out and get anything from the Dollar Tree, you can just use what you already have in stock or what you have stored away. So basically, I just glued some of those little picks and some of the cut up leaves and flowers and stuff to the backs of those little hats, and then just kind of let them dry. It took a little while to let it dry. Like I said, if I had hot glue, it would have dried immediately. But since I didn't, that's why it took a little while. So I took some floral wire, and I went outside. I got some sticks that you can use, or branches or whatever. And all I'm doing right here is just trying to arrange the setting. So once I figured out how I wanted to put my owls on there and how I wanted to arrange my not my stems, but my sticks, I just took that floral wire and I tied it around that first branch first really well and wrapped it around real good. And then I'm just connecting it to that other one, and I'm just making sure that I go all the way around all the different corners of the branches, because I want to make sure that thing stays on there really, really well. So I did that to all of the branches. I just kind of I wired them really, really, really well, because you want to make sure that stuff stays nice and secure. So some of my footage got lost on here. So all I did was I took the bottom of the owl's feet, their little paws or whatever you call those things, and I just added some wire around them and then connected them to the branches and sticks and stuff, and pretty much did the same thing that I did when I connected those first two branches. I just made sure that I went around every loop of the bottoms of the feet of the owls and connected them to the branches, and just make sure they were on there secure. And so here all I'm doing is just I cut some more flowers, because I had gotten some picks and some flowers, and I think I'd already had some leaves and stuff already from previous little like fall decorations and stuff around the house. And so that's why I took those and cut them up, and then just kind of garnished the branch that the owls are sitting on. So now I'm just adding the leaves. And so I added them to both sides to try to make both sides look somewhat even. So there I'm just adding my little picks in there. Basically all I did was just pull a piece of it and fold it in half, and then just glued it on there to the bottom. Now I'm taking this my little machine that I've got. You don't have to use that. You can actually use like a ruler and a trim knife, and it works just as good. And so here I just punched a little hole using my crocodile, and I'm adding some of that wire back in there, and I'm just wrapping it all around, going in and out of the different levels of branches, and making sure that that sign is on there really, really, really tight. And then I take some cord, or not cord, but like, what is that? Twine, I think, yeah. And then I'm just wrapping it around really, really well, the same way I did the floral wire. And I'm securing it real well, and then I'm just going to cut it, the leftover piece of it off. And then I took a piece of that twine and folded it in half and created a knot. And I'm just going to glue that knot over to the top of that, where it says all are welcome, just to make it look like there's a knot that came straight through that hole, even though it's not. So I did use the glue gun on that one. And I also secured that twine on the back of the branch with some glue, some hot glue. And this is just a little bonus thing. It's not really, I guess you could call it a project, but I didn't add this as like a project. Basically all I'm doing is just adding some raffia and tying it to this little corn. And I got the corn from the corn strips or whatever those are. I got those from, I think, Hobby Lobby like 4 years ago, when it was probably like 80 or 90% off, like after Thanksgiving. I have a tendency to do that. I like to get stuff when it's like marked way down after the holiday. And I hoard a whole bunch of stuff that I probably should have got rid of by now. But anyway, so I just tied a knot on there, and then I tie another little hoop so that it could hang. And so you've got your little corn. So now we're going to move on to our project 2, which are some vases that I got from the Dollar Tree. And then I got those linens, I got that from a flea market or thrift store. And all I'm doing here is just using those to just kind of fill up the vases, because that way everything that goes in afterwards will stay risen. So then I add my raffia to both pails or both vases. And you can use a pail, you can use a vase, you can use any type of thing, you know, really that'll hold something. And then I've got some leaves. I think those did come from Dollar Tree. I don't know. Like I said, I had a lot of stuff from years ago, and so I just kind of combined some of what I already had with Dollar Tree stuff. And so I'm just adding different shades of leaves, and then I'm adding some picks and some itty bitty pumpkins and some pine cones, and then some more of those leftover blue stems. I think I only bought 2 of the bluish, purplish, whatever color flower picks, and it goes quite a long way when you cut it apart. So that's the fun thing about that. $2 and you can get like a lot out of it. And then I'm adding some acorns. I think I got my acorns off the internet. I'm not real sure. But yeah, that's all you have to do is just add some things together and you got 2 vases. And now for the final project, which is the canvas. And this is super duper duper easy. Very cheap. This one was only basically $1. The other project was, I think, like $3 or $4, because I didn't really spend that much on the vases. $1 each for the vases, and then the little fillers and stuff. So all these projects are under $6, but this one right here was like basically $1 because of the cost of the canvas. And if you've already got napkins at home, I mean, that's all you need. Napkins, 1 napkin, or the image from the napkin. Pull it apart. Get your Modpodge. Add it on there. And then make sure it's on there straight. So you're going to add whatever kind of paint you want. I'm just using some leftover Bear paint that I've had for who knows how long. And I have that saran wrap over it so that the lid doesn't get completely stuck, because sometimes it's hard to open up paints and things after they've been opened and they dry out, and it's like hard to get the bottle open. So I'm just I went around all the edges with paint, and the closer I got to the center and to the picture, I kind of started doing a little dabbing just to kind of make it look like it's blended in there. So just kind of dab around the edges. So after it dried, I got some of this Dollar Tree sanding paper, and that pack has different grits. It has like 80 grit, I think 120 grit, different strengths of sandpaper. I just grabbed 80. I don't know if there's one that's better than the other or not. I just grabbed it, and I'm just kind of sanding off some of the paint to give it like a distressed, peeled kind of look to it. And I'm also kind of focusing around the edges of the Modpodge napkin, because I want, like I said, I want it to look like it's kind of blending in there. And I just cleaned it off the leftover excess with just a little rag. Now I'm just going to dry brush some of this coffee bean brown paint. You just need just a little dab of paint and just kind of lightly go over the edges and, you know, just different parts of the canvas, just to give it that distressed kind of look to it. You don't need a whole lot on the brush, just a little bit. And just kind of go over it a little bit. And now I'm going to add some black acrylic paint. Just a little dab of it too. And pretty much dry brush it on as well. Now I've got some stickles and some liquid pearls, and basically all I did was I took the green stickles and I added it to the pumpkins, or the top of the pumpkins that are on that truck and on the ground. And I came through with some of the liquid pearl, and I just kind of highlighted some of the letters that are in Happy Fall, y'all. And voila, and there we go. So that's basically it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, please give my video a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos and my social media sites and my blog, and also check out some of the other ladies that I mentioned in here. And if you want to do a follow along video, please do so. I would love that. But yeah, make sure you check out Bevie from ThePaperDiva and Thelisha from Where Baking and Crafting Meet, and Pham from Livie's Lovelies. All of them are on YouTube. So I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this.